Okay, let's make a reaction video because I actually get a lot of posts from, well, screenshots of posts from all the followers and fans of Speed Lab, and most of the time it's funny. Sometimes it's people bad mouthing the shop. Sometimes it's just people asking for clarifications on if what this person said is true or not. We're gonna start with that one. So this was sent to me through, well, obviously Facebook Messenger, and we'll put it up here. So apparently this came from a Montero Club discussion. So I'll do a rough translation for all the guys who don't speak English. Hindi basta-basta ang remapping, kaya dapat trusted mechanic lang kayo. Saka bakit kailangan mag-remap? Ipangkakarera ba? Sa panahon ngayon basta may kalsada, may karera. Then we're addressing actually this guy, Philip Lester Padillo. Well, yan ang nagagawa ng mga maling sales talk ng mga pseudo remappers. People should realize if you do remapping, you're basically required to upgrade all the components to race spec. How can a stock turbo handle the added boost? Sabog talaga yun. Remapping is a commitment and pocket-burning thing because you need to upgrade everything. Noon panahon pa may karera sa daan. Been there, done that, learned it the hard way. Sana kumarera na lang sa loob ng track. Well, I actually checked this guy's profile, which he has a couple of pictures of Mitsubishi. So mostly, obviously, it's in a Montero club. So he has a Montero, and looks like he has an old Galant too, and he's a big fan of the Lancer Evo. He's not 100% wrong, but he's not 100% right either. So a rough translation of the first statement he made for the non-English speakers: remapping is not just a so-so thing. You have to have it done with a trusted mechanic. And why do you need to remap? Are you gonna go racing? Well, the short answer for the first one is no, you don't want to remap because you want to go racing. 90%, actually no, 99% of everybody who walks through those doors do not go racing at all. They just want a more powerful car. In the same way that why is Toyota offering different power levels? You have a 2.4 liter, you have a 2.8 liter. If you get the 2.8 liter, does that automatically mean that you want to go racing? Of course not. You just want a more powerful car. That's why manufacturers have different specs, different engine options, because some people just want something that's faster and more powerful. And remapping is simply just that. We are changing the settings to give you more power. Not to go racing. It's just that I want it more powerful. The same way that mostly for the Android users, why can you hack and crack and root the Android? Because you want more features and you want the thing to perform faster. And for the guys who have PCs, why do you overclock the things? Why is there a whole industry that sells you cooling fans, liquid cooling, bigger heat sinks, and all of this stuff? Who exactly are you gonna use all that power for? Obviously nothing. Most of you guys are just doing it for the speed of it. And for the guys who are into gaming, you just want a more optimized system that doesn't overheat quickly. Same thing with cars. So no, you don't do remapping because you're gonna go racing. That's fallacy number one. And then he goes on to say, well, that's what the wrong sales talk does to you for the pseudo remappers. Then the rest is in English. People should realize that if you do remap, you're basically required to upgrade. Okay, you are not required to upgrade anything. You can remap a totally 100% stock car. This is not true. You don't have to upgrade the exhaust, you don't have to upgrade the intake, you don't even need to change the stock paper filter to a K&N. You can remap, again, 150% stock car, and it will not explode. So how can a stock turbo handle the added boost? Well, based on your profile, seeing that most of you like the older Evo 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, back in the old days, which is easily 30 years ago, when these cars came out, there is no reliable way of upping the boost consistently. And yes, you will have to spend for it. Number one, you'll have to spend for a boost controller, which at that time, you also have to ideally spend for a boost gauge. And how do you test maximum boost? You run the car. Back then, there were not a lot of dynos. Turn the boost controller a little bit too high, and yes, you put the turbo in danger. And the only time that you will know that is you turn it, one turn. Okay, stock boost, 14. You turn it, 15. Turn it some more. 15.5. Let's turn it a little bit more. 17. Oh, still okay, not too bad. Then you get greedy and you turn it some more. Then you hit 20 PSI, then things start to go wrong. So if all your experience of with turbos has been that, well, my friend, it's been 30 years. Turbos have come a long, long way. And in your Montero right now, in pretty much every variable nozzle, VNT, variable nozzle turbo, variable geometry turbo, it is the computer that controls the amount of boost. And it's not through a wastegate anymore. It's by altering the vane of the VGT itself. So there is a maximum setting that we can put the boost at. We cannot boost it at 100 psi. No way it's going to work. In the software itself, when we open up the remapping software, there is a maximum value for boost. So that means it can do up to that, nothing more. And even ideally, if it can do more, it will not make any more power. We can see that on the dyno. Sometimes we turn the boost up to say 24 psi. Okay, great. Let's do 26 psi. No change in power. So that means upping the boost is useless. So we'll go back to the lower boost setting of 24, and then that's it. So yes, technology has progressed that far. It's next to impossible to overboost a diesel nowadays. Even the gasoline cars, it's next to impossible to overboost these things because of all the electronic safeguards that are put into it. So no, you will not blow your turbo because you're overboosted. And yes, the turbo is designed to handle it. Don't worry. Noon panahon may karera sa daan. Well, he's just simply saying that back in the old days, yes, you can race on the road, but now he's learned it the hard way. So most likely, maybe he got into an accident or a few close calls. And obviously, the correct advice is just to do it on the track and not on the street. This in response to that other guy who said that nowadays, as long as there's a road, you can have a race. Well, you can never really eradicate that totally. The whole reason and the whole point of, especially here in the Philippines, you're going home. Some guy pulls up to you. They will still rev you no matter what. And then what do? Of course, to prove you're a man, you have to race the guy from stoplight to stoplight. That will never ever go away. There's a very famous saying that in the automotive industry, the first race in the world started after the second car was built. It's inherent, it's human nature. We cannot not race people that go up against us. So anyway, the whole point of this reaction to this particular post is we're clearing up a few things. So number one, you can remap a completely stock car. No, you don't need to change a single damn thing. But here's the thing, if you do change it, you change your exhaust to a bigger one, then you will get even more power than just remap alone. So this is the reason why people upgrade. So they'll do exhaust first. They get about 10, 12 horsepower. Hey, they're happy for about a week, 2 weeks. Then they want more. Then they come back for remapping. Then they get another 40, 50 horse. Then they're happy. Most people are happy at that point, but there will be some people who will want even more. And yes, there are steps to have even more power. And that's why we now have a drag diesel class in Clark, where you see pickups, SUVs, vans going down the quarter mile. And these things are definitely not stock anymore. And do they blow turbos? Absolutely yes. That's what racing is. You will break parts when you go racing. That is a given. So hopefully that gets cleared out a little bit.